And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk program today. Oh my God. Today, not a big deal. Just all of Europe is going to get hooked up with cryptocurrency. You know, stock market, banking, investing, everything. Not a big deal. The whole continent of Europe is going to start running on cryptocurrency. Some of you, that's not a big deal. If you're not rich tomorrow, it's not a big deal. So to those that find this a big deal, let's watch this program and learn which cryptos are going to be the primary ones used. There's going to be quite a few cryptos being used, but we're only going to talk about probably the top 5, all right? So, sounds like a possibly interesting show, Crypto Hulk. Oh, God. Am I going to have to wait on this? Wait, stop. I'm not going to be rich today or tomorrow, then I'm not interested. I'm sorry. Let me know when XRP hits $5, and then I literally had friends tell me that. Don't tell me anything. Just when XRP hits $5, let me know. And this is when XRP was 15 cents. And I'm like, but it's 15 cents. Just let me know when it's $5. And I'm like, wow, okay, I guess I will. I've been buying another bag. XDC. Drugs and loving every second of the amazing news. My name is Crypto Hawk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor, none of the above. I don't know anything about crypto. I don't know anything about financial advice. I would be the worst person. This is the absolute worst show to watch if you want to make any kind of money or whatever. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just so high off drugs, heroin, cocaine, methamphetamines, opium, all of them. I take them daily. 10 times a day I get high. Don't listen to anything I say in this program. If I send you a text, if you're a $500 member and I call you, or just ignore it all. It's just the drugs talking, all right? Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's look right here. This is this is something huge. This is something that's Donald Trump huge. That's UGE. Let's do a copy and a paste. This is all all this. Bank Social's up 35%. Let's take a look. Is somebody out there buying that Bank Social up? Let's take a look on who's been naughty. Bank Social, 35%. Yep, that's what it's saying on CoinMarketCap. 35%. Oh, shit. Hey, it's a great crypto. You got to watch yesterday's program, the PM show. I talk all about Bank Social. You're able to get in at 0.000, like 4 or 5 right now. 5. I mean, $500 gets you 1 million of these, right? $500. Think about it. This is a welfare. Like, if you're balling on a budget, like welfare is your budget. Okay, if you're balling on a budget and you're a big baller, you spend $500 now, right? Like, here's the thing. Watch the program. I'm not trying to sell the used car again. I already did it last night. Watch the program, and you'll see how interconnected Bank Social is and how amazing this crypto will do. You get $500, you buy 1 million of them. When these sons of bitches hit $10, you just turned $500 into $10 million. See what I'm saying? This Bank Social one, I've got so much Bank Social. I just need it to hit $10. That's all I need. And I will be so set for life in my next life, and the next life, and the next life, and the next life. I just need it to hit $10. I mean, it could hit $1, and that'll be good. I mean, if it just hits $1, if Bank Social just hits $1, then that would be great too. I have no complaints. But if I want to get greedy, all it's got to do is hit $10. Oh my God, Monica. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, man. But I don't want to steal the thunder from today's show. And that's for show. So if you got into Bank Social, look, that's my biggest holding. I own more Bank Social tokens than anything else. I've got, well, the money dropped in the Bank Social value, but it's awesome. Just like my reverse osmosis water and 7-stage filtration system. Let's get into the show, and that's faux show. Oh, let me share the program again. Let me find this web address and share it with you or with you. Either way, that's how we talk on Crypto Hulk. Witya, W-I-T-Y-A, Witya. All right. The Euro system. Here we go, everybody. This is massive. Oh, my God. Euro system. The Euro system is to accept distributed ledger technology based collateral. Oh, my God. We're going to start being... you're going to start seeing all these stable coins popping up. The Euro system will accept marketable assets issued in Central Securities Depository using distributed ledger technology-based services as eligible collateral for Euro system credit operations, March 30th, 2026. This is all going down. Like other marketable assets, they must comply with Euro system collateral eligibility criteria and collateral management requirements. They're going to usher in cryptocurrency to be used for stock trading, bonds, and have stable backing stable coins. All this digital money shit that we're into, this is the beginning right here. This is the beginning. You're not rich today, tomorrow, next week. March 30th, you're not rich. March 30th, it all begins. That's day one of you becoming rich, okay? We are here so early. We're watching Crypto Hulk show. Nothing's appears to be going on. No, it's because you're not listening to the right news channel. These criteria include availability for settlement in eligible securities settlement systems, which must be compliant with the CSD regulation and reachable via Target 2 securities. That's a payment system. We're talking about payments, stocks, bonds, trading, stable coins, banks, buying homes, all this shit. The government is going to start allowing to happen. Oh, yes. Target 2 is like a payment type system. They're starting to integrate crypto into payment systems. Uh-oh. This is what we've been waiting for. But Crypto Hulk, I bought Bank Social yesterday. I'm not rich today. Is there a problem? Is there a problem, Crypto Hulk? I'm not rich today. I've only had it 12 hours, Crypto Hulk. Why don't I have Lambos and hoes? Let's continue. That's on that other channel. Go watch the other channel where they say XRP is going to be $1,000 by January 1st. Watch the other channel. And then next week, which is like right now, wasn't XRP supposed to be 3 digits? No, that's not $1. 1.00 is not a three-digit XRP. I'm sorry. Well, go watch these other fucking stupid ass channels, okay? These assets will be mobilized as collateral in line with the Euro system's existing collateral management practices. The Euro system will continue to align its collateral framework and collateral management practices with technological advancements. So they have, in Europe, like everywhere in the world, they have a framework what is collateral for securities, okay? And they want to turn securities into digital format, so you got to have a collateral that's legitimate. They're talking about technological advancements. I think we know what that means. Cryptocurrency. They're not trying to say it. I'm trying to say it. They're not trying to say it, okay? Technological advancements, meaning cryptocurrency in financial markets, while supporting the adoption of innovative solutions like cryptocurrency, and uphold the principles of adequacy of collateral, safety, efficiency, and a level playing field. That keyword right there, just of a level playing field. I just hear that, and I'm hearing Brad Garlinghouse for the past 5 to 6 years saying Ripple's trying to create a level playing field. Oh, man, it's coming. You and me all know it's coming. It's like a crocodile in the water, and the water's a little murky, so you can't see it swimming, but it's swimming up to the shore, and it's swimming up the shore, and you're right there, and it comes out, and it grabs you and takes you under and fucking kills you. Crypto Hulk, what the hell's going on? Like, did somebody put something in your cereal this morning? Shut up. With this in mind, the Euro system has launched an ambitious work plan to explore, oh God, if, how, and under what criteria assets issued using DLT and not represented in eligible security settlement systems could become eligible. What they're doing here is they're telling us they're going to have assets that are digital, that are exploratory and new innovation. Look, fuck that word shit, okay? I'm going to tell you what they're going to tell you. They want to bring crypto to the market, and they got to make sure that it's backed up properly. That's what the fuck they're saying, okay? Let's just quit using all these little fancy words. Fancy schmancy. To accelerate the transformation of the Euro system monetary policy into cryptocurrency, that's all they got to say. They're trying to fucking play around this issue. They're not trying to tell you. They're trying to turn all this crypto, all this stock and bond shit into crypto. That's all. See, they're not saying all that. I'm translating like a fucking crazy man here. Under this approach, subsets. Why do you see how they're trying to confuse all this shit and use all these words that nobody fucking uses? I have an English degree. I've never heard people using these kind of words in real life. Maybe I'm planet Uranus, but here we go. That's what the government does. They try to, they try to use the shell companies. This company gets bought up by this one, but then these two merge, but then it was really started by this person who's an actual affiliate of that one and that one. That's what these motherfuckers are doing right here. They're trying to hide this. They know March 30th, crypto's coming out, so they're trying to obfuscate. That means confuse. So they're trying to use words like obfuscate that nobody fucking uses that word, right? Okay. They're trying to put the news out, but not put the news out. Okay. That's exactly what the fuck's happening here. This approach will take into account market developments, in particular regarding the issuance of they call it DLT-based assets. Okay, what I'm going to do, this last paragraph, it's a real small paragraph. I'm going to translate using real fucking English and not this government, I'm going to hide the news. Government, I'm going to hide the news speak. Okay, so we're going to use the Crypto Hulk filter is coming off, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to read this article and translate it how they should have said it because they're trying to hide this by using obfuscation. Okay, so let's go with this. Our pathway will take into account market developments, in particular issuing cryptocurrency assets, as well as legal and regulatory developments. For example, in the CSD regulation. So in the current regulation, the crypto pilot regimen, the market crypto assets and security laws of jurisdiction in the Euro area, what they're showing us is that they have to get the laws of this cryptocurrency and make it work with the current laws. That's what they're trying to tell us. Now, what I'm going to do is go into my Crypto Hulk deep dive and utilize Grok and show you. See, that article doesn't tell me a fucking thing. Okay? So what I'm going to do is break it down into a Crypto Hulk deep dive so we can see what the fuck they're not trying to tell us, okay? We're going to see what we need to see to understand. Because that article, you could read that article and not even know what the fuck, like it's like I'm speaking Chinese. Ni hao ma, and I don't even speak Chinese, okay? So let's go with this. But Crypto Hulk, you just asked a question on why are you following me? Would you just shut up? Now, here's an overview of the article. The article from the Digital Assets Edge discusses a policy announcement by the Euro system, which is the European Central Bank and the National Central Bank of the Eurozone. So we read an article about the Eurozone's central bank and shit. Okay. To begin accepting crypto-based marketable assets. I'm also going to translate this. When I see words like blockchain, distributed assets, I'm just going to use the fucking word crypto because that's what makes sense, okay? They're trying to tell you shit without using the word crypto, so it sounds like they're talking about some foreign stuff. I'm going to use words that make sense, okay? So we just read an article where the European central banking system and the stock market and all that shit is going to convert into a crypto system. They don't put it like that because they're trying to confuse the fuck out of us, okay? So I'm going to translate for these dumbasses so that we understand what they're talking about. So the Eurozone, the European Union, is going to begin accepting crypto-based assets, okay, as eligible collateral for credit operations starting March 30th, 2026. So basically April 1st, all right? This initiative aligns with broader efforts to integrate crypto and tokens into the European financial market. Efforts to, the Eurozone is in an effort to integrate crypto into their system March 30th. Does that make fucking sense? Whew, man, the translation. They're going to be tokenizing in the financial markets, ensuring compliance with existing regulations. They want to make sure that this cryptocurrency has the same regulations as the financial market. In order for you to have regulations, you got to have law. You can't be like the United States. You can't be like the IRS in the United States where they want to tax crypto. It's not even in the law book. How the fuck do you tax shit that's not even in the law? That's illegal. 18 United States Code, Section 242, civil rights violation by the United States government against its own people. I got to move on, but I'm just thought I'd let you know they're violating your civil rights right now by trying to collect any kind of tax on crypto because it does not exist in the law. The IRS cannot tax what does not legally exist. That's a violation of your civil rights. Very, very simple. No other channels calling that out because they're too fucking stupid. All right, let's continue. Ensuring compliance with existing regulations like the Central Securities Deposit Regulation, the DLT pilot regime, and the market and crypto asset. No single cryptocurrency project or token is the focus. Instead, This is a systemic framework. So Europe is coming up with a framework right now to organize crypto and put it into the existing system. It's like getting a USB drive and plugging it in your computer. Now, it has to work within Target 2, which is securities settlement. So, participate in bank liquidity operations, provided these cryptos settle in eligible systems reachable via Target 2 securities. Future expansions may include fully crypto-native assets not tied to traditional settlement systems. What they're telling you here is they're going to start with a crypto that's tied to a traditional system like security, tokenized securities or some shit. Then they're going to go off to some other kind of crypto. Okay, but they're telling you other traditional settlement systems. We're going to start off with very conservative cryptos. Make sure that shit, where I'm translating, we're going to start with boring. We're going to start with very boring cryptos. Then later, they're going to let it rip with all the other ones. You've got to get traditional stable coins that are boring and make you fall asleep and shit. That's what's going to happen to these dumb people that could only watch my show for 10 minutes and they can go watch fucking gay porn and midget porn for like 3 hours, okay? But they only got 10 minutes for the show. What's going to happen in the beginning is there's going to be traditional like stable coin, a stable coin that's tied to $1, a crypto that's tied to United States securities or something like that, right? Later, they're going to let it rip. Maybe a crypto that's tied to a Lamborghini. Maybe a crypto that's tied to a racehorse, okay? But they're going to start off with the traditional boring cryptos in the beginning. I'm just showing you what's happening. Tomorrow you're not rich. I'm just letting you know. You can probably go watch another channel now. Next, the primary use case of this March 30th movement is crypto assets as collateral in Euro credit. So let's say you want to buy stocks or you want to buy something, well, then it'll be a crypto that's backed by a traditional asset, okay? This allows counterparties like banks to pledge these assets for loans from central banks. So if a bank wants to get a loan from a central bank, they could say, okay, we got $3 million in crypto in our vault. Then the bank can show that, or somebody could custody. Maybe the central bank allows that bank to custody it themselves. Maybe the central bank's like, okay, if you want a $3 million loan, put your crypto in our central vault and that'll be collateral. So you see, so the bank can get money by putting $3 million into a central bank custody for 24 hours. Depends on how long the bank needs the money and the terms to pay it back. But what we're looking at here is a way for a bank, just one example, a bank could get a loan by using their cryptocurrency to let somebody hold it. That's what the law is going to start doing on March 30th. All of these financial institutions in Europe will be allowed to use crypto to get shit done. They won't have to use actual euro dollars. They can use crypto that's backed by a euro dollar. That's what we're seeing here, is crypto being used in the financial system. This has never been done. That's why this is a big deal. What makes it a big deal is because when the system starts running on these cryptos, people will be like, well, but why can't we use these? That's when the flip of the switch happens, okay? What we're seeing here is banks are going to be able to use crypto for boring, very, very boring reasons, okay, that you and me are not going to see. And this will get it moving. And then eventually they'll open the door for everything else. And that's when the flood comes in, okay? You've got to test this out and make sure that it works. And that's kind of like what they're doing. This supports atomic settlements. That means instantaneous and simultaneous transfer of assets, reduces counterparty risk, and integrates with Target 2 securities. Broader implications include tokenization of real-world assets. What we're going to see with all this happening is the banks are going to start utilizing real-world assets that are turned into tokens that the banks can then say, hey, we've got $3 million of these dildo tokens. Can we get a $3 million loan? And the European government will be like, sure. That's how this is done. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. I don't need to understand how all this overnight loan stuff works. I'm not trying to do all that. What we're just trying to see is that cryptocurrency on March 30th, 2026 is going to start being used in buying and selling and trading and banking and all these financial systems I don't even understand. Crypto is going to start being used, okay? And once everything runs well, they're going to increase more kinds of crypto, then more kinds of crypto. This isn't a standalone crypto, but enables blockchain applications in regulated environments such as tokenized bonds or stablecoins compliant in MiCAR. This isn't a Europe is going crazy with crypto. This is a Europe is opening the door. Europe's going to crack the door open about an inch, enough for us to look in there and look around and see what's going on. This is not a Euro system, opens the door, and then all the crypto floods in your rich moment. That's not what this is. I'm showing you this is a first of its kind. Europe's going to crack the door open, utilize crypto in very limited circumstances in the financial world. And this is like a test, but it's not with play money. It's with real money. It's an example. They want to see how it works. They'll start little by little. This is where it all starts right here. Now, they've run trials. They've tested all this stuff. This is like a limited, okay, it's a soft opening. You ever seen a restaurant and they're open and people are eating, but there's no, it's like a brand new restaurant. It's called a soft opening. And what a soft opening is they open up, but they don't advertise. A soft opening is you hire a bunch of people. You don't want to let people eat for free. So you open the door up, people come by and they're like, are you guys a new restaurant? Yeah, we are. Are you open? Yeah, we're open. Why don't you advertise? And you're like, well, we're just going to have a soft opening. That means they're trying to get the waiters, the waitresses, the cooks, the janitor, everybody, the hostess, the manager. They're trying to get the place kind of running with 10 people, let's say 10 customers, and then they get a little bit better. So now we want 20, 30 customers. And eventually when they're like, you know what? I think we've practiced enough with real money. That's what this is. They're practicing, but with real money. Then they do the full rollout. They advertise. They put it on the internet. They've got, some cartoon character standing out front saying now open and holding a sign kind of a thing. So that's what we're seeing going down here at the Eurozone. So let's take a look here. Now let's look at who's all involved in this. there were trials done, Ethereum-based trials. Quant is mentioned right here, Quant. And that's the crypto QNT. Quant was integrated in this trial. What this is this is before March 30th, 2026, which is coming up. Quant is involved in the trials that have happened to prepare for this. XRP is involved, the ledger, HBAR, XLM, IOTA, Algorand, Chainlink, AVAX, okay, Avalanche. Grok is telling us right now, when this March 30th opening happens, it's a soft opening. Those were the cryptos that they've been testing and trialing, okay? Next, they're also using a particular network called the Canton Network. The company Digital Asset is involved in the European soft opening of cryptocurrency use in the financial system. Digital Asset has a company called Canton Network, and they have the Canton coin. That's sold at Caleb and Brown. Canton Network partnered with Collateral Mobility and Tokenization. That's what Canton Network is doing here. Collateral mobility, moving around collateral and tokenizing. Who tokenizes for the Canton Network? The Crypto Rise, R-I-Z-E. This is right from the beginning. Let me look through. There are 20 Eurozone central banks involved in this project. Oh, man, this is like... Now, remember, these are banking type trading cryptos, okay? There's other cryptos in the world. These are not the only cryptos in the world. These are cryptos that are going to be used. Now, they're very, very massively important cryptos, but they're going to be used by governments, world banks, stock markets, bond, all these things, okay? All these cryptos we're talking about here. Now, let's keep going. Who are the banks involved here? BNP Paribas, Ripple Partner, Credit Agricole, Ripple Partner, ABN, AMRO, Ripple Partner, I'm positive. Then you got NL, ENEL / Quantos, QUANTOZ. That's for tokenization. The clearinghouse is involved. Oh, man, look what we got here. CBOE, Clear Europe. That's one of the clearing houses. CBOE, Clear, and then Europe. The next one is the DTCC. The DTCC. We like the DTCC. Let's look at a couple articles here real quick. Here's an article here. The DTCC is the world's settling of derivatives. The derivatives that they settle are $4 quadrillion per year. Here's the proof they're using the Canton Network. And the DTCC is also using R3 Corda, which is the XDC crypto that sells for about 4 or 5 cents on Caleb and Brown. I'm showing you the DTCC from their own website. If you look down a couple inches, it says DTCC has selected R3 Corda and R3 Corda uses the XDC crypto. Here's your evidence for that. Let me show you. So what I'm showing you here is I'm laying out in Europe, March 30th, what cryptos are the Eurozone going to use to run their future financial system. I'm showing you the cryptos with facts, not opinions, on what they're going to use. It's very simple. We got the BNP Paribas Bank, Credit Agricole, the European Investment Bank, Deutsche Börse Group is involved in this, CBOE Clear Europe, and ABN AMRO Clearing, Digital Asset Canton Network in quotes or parentheses. Euroclear is involved. They're like an R3 partner. Quant Network is involved. Ripple XRP Ledger is involved. Now, Grok is saying that's under speculation. HBAR is involved. Stellar is involved. Stellar is DECTA, DECTA E-Money, Societe Generale Stablecoin, Marshall Islands. That's where Stellar comes in. IOTA is involved. The digital ID infrastructure in the EU sandbox, trade finance in Africa. That's where IOTA comes in. Algorand's involved. The ENEL tokenization, Quantos e-money, securities in Italy. This is where Algorand comes in. Chainlink is involved. Avalanche is involved. Project Pontes is involved. And a couple others. Let me continue through here. Atomic settlement. Why is this important? Atomic settlement refers to instantaneous and simultaneous execution of asset transfers and payments in a single indivisible transaction, often enabled by blockchain to eliminate counterparty risk and enable delivery versus payment. What we're talking about here is instant payments, instant settlement. That cannot be done on a Bitcoin or Ethereum network, okay? That's why we're not seeing the Ethereum Foundation or consensus hooked up here, because it doesn't have instant settlement or instant payments. The cryptos that we just got done talking about, those are the ones that do. That's why they're mentioned here. AVAX and all these others are involved in this. What we're dealing with is all the money in Europe. All the money. And that's only going to get ran by the top cryptos that I just told you right there. You know right now what cryptos Europe, the top cryptos Europe's going to run on. These are not all of them. These are the top cryptos that are involved in all the money in Europe, okay? The fastest and the best of the best. These are the cryptos right here. Canton Network. Canton Network uses DAML, D-A-M-L. Those are the smart contracts. They're not using like Ethereum smart contracts. They're using DAML, the DAML system. Euroclear is a partnership of the Canton Network, DTCC, Thar Immune, and Digital Asset. You got a company called Finality International, FNALITY. They're a wholesale payment system using atomic payments. Their partners are Goldman Sachs and UBS Bank. Now, crypto assets that are MiCA compliant is Circle. Another crypto called Book, B-O-O-K. T-Book is so this is something that I kind of looked up. There's a platform called T-Book, the capital T, capital B as in boy, O-O-K. There is a crypto involved in this. It's called Book, B-O-O-K. I didn't really look that one up, but there you have it. I'm looking through this next section. There's a lot of banks involved. I'm not getting into all the banks involved with this. You got NASDAQ, the American Stock Exchange. NASDAQ is hooked up into this. All these banks of Belgium, Cyprus, Clearstream, Slovakia, all these banks. Euroclear is a Belgium-based company dealing with security. I'm not getting into all that, but Euroclear is massive. And these companies, they're so... Then Clearstream's hooked up. Clearstream's another massive partnership with Deutsche Bank, and they're mixed in with all these cryptos we just talked about. They're all mixed in together with these companies. They're all interconnected. The SIX Digital Exchange, that's a stock exchange that runs on R3 Corda. So they're a partnership in this. The Switzerland Stock Exchange, SIX, it's called the SDX Exchange. It's been a partner since 2018 with the Target 2S. And it's compliant. It's running on the R3 Corda platform, which is XDC. Hedera is involved with that particular exchange as well, according to Grok here. You got something called 21X. It's a crypto trading and settlement platform. It's German-based. It has atomic settlement. That means they're not using Bitcoin or Ethereum, because atomic settlement is instant, like right now. And that's not Bitcoin or Ethereum. You got Chainlink and Circle involved. Here's Book. T-Book is the first embedded real-world assets liquidity layer that integrates institutional-grade tokenized yield directly into user-facing applications. This particular crypto Book, it enables applications to generate real-world asset-backed yield on idle customer balances. So if you have a bunch of crypto assets that nobody's using, you could turn that into money by staking it through this project called Book, B-O-O-K. The platform Book unifies decentralized finance, intelligence, and smart settlement and real-world assets distribution with automatic vesting and yield. That's what Book does. It creates... You can take a crypto and then turn it into money. That's what Book does, the platform and the crypto. Book operates as a chain agnostic infrastructure. Book supports Ethereum virtual machine compatible chains like SWI ton BNB as an example, with plans for future expansion. It's MiCA compliant already. It's a coordination layer for StableFi projects. Book is the native utility and settlement token of the T-Book ecosystem. There's 10 billion of these cryptos made. Book is not tradable on any exchange, as it is pre-launch. Again, I'm showing you something that has not come out yet. You can take a look, you can keep a lookout for it. And when it comes out, this would be one that you'd want to get. It's pre-launch right now. To acquire Book, here's the conditions though. Users must position for vesting or airdrops by checking eligibility via the incentive passport. So you got to connect a SUI wallet, SUI. You got to connect a SUI wallet to the T-Book platform. Eligibility requires a high WISE score, W-I-S-E. You have to have a high WISE score, active contributions, holding bookies, NFTs, top leaderboard rankings for social engagement, or proven activity. Posts from bots or inactive referrals are deducted to ensure genuine participation. Now, after they have a token generating event, Book will likely be available on decentralized exchanges. So you won't be getting it as cheap, but you will be able to get Book. This is a crypto that we're going to be keeping an eye out on the Crypto Hawk Show. So some of you people out there, let us know when Book comes available. None of the other crypto channels are talking about Book because they have no fucking clue. What you want is first mover advantage. First mover advantage into some. Think about this. European system is going crypto March 30th, and I'm telling you about a crypto hasn't even been released yet. That's all involved with this. This is massive right here. Book. Book serves as middleware for real-world assets and StableFi by enabling apps to embed tokenized yields. You earn about 8% a year on your stablecoin. Now, listen to this. Book facilitates atomic settlements. That's instant. And then it has multi-chain liquidity. Why? Because Wormhole, W-O-R-M-H-O-L-E, Wormhole, which is a Ripple partner and is for sale at Caleb and Brown. That's another crypto that's involved in the European March 30th, opening up to crypto March 30th. Wormhole's involved. Let's keep going and find out what other little gold nuggets we find. Miston Labs, M-Y-S-T-E-N, Miston Labs is involved in this. Founded by ex-Facebook DM members. Oh, that's very interesting. Oh, the Ant Group is involved in that. Facebook DM project, Miston Labs. That's the Chinese, which is a Ripple partner. Ant Financial, I already showed you the Ripple timeline. That's 2013, Ant Financial and TenPay. These are all Chinese involvements. It uses Wormhole for native token transfers, NTT. Let's see here. Social government bank. OmniPay, Philippines' largest provider. First non-bank EMI license holder integrates for will. So you have OmniPay, which is Philippines' latest payment provider. They're all involved in this. And my guess would be that's some kind of Chinese company in the Philippines. Now, there's a very strong presence of Ripple in Chinese and OmniPay. Something called R25, Real World Asset Protocols, involved in this. Cryptodian with a K. Game Build, Wormhole, Walrus, and that is all. So that is your deep dive. We're at 50 minutes. We got 10 minutes left. That's what's going on in Europe for March 30th. Those are the cryptos that Grok identified as being involved in the integration of cryptocurrency into the European financial system. Those are the cryptos Grok says are involved. And the banks. Let me look here at the comments. Yeah, Metallicus is also, I think they own XPR. So that's another crypto I have. It's on my phone, is XPR. But Metallicus and XPR are like the same company. Quant is huge. Okay. Let me look here. Let's breeze through this article here. It's Japan. So we just talked, I want you to see some. We just talked about Europe ready to launch March 30th, crypto into its financial system. Now let's see what Japan is doing. Japan regulator seeks public input on bonds eligible for stablecoin reserves. Japan's Financial Services Agency has opened up a public consultation until February 27th on draft rules designating eligible bond types for crypto collateral. What they're talking about, Japan's financial watchdog has launched a public consultation on draft rules for stablecoin reserve assets under its 2025 payments law. So Japan is right now making crypto laws. If you're going to have a bond and it's going to be backed with crypto, they're going to tell you what kind of crypto it has to be. So here we have Japan starting to integrate crypto into its financial system, kind of like the same thing Europe is doing. Identifying rules specifying which bonds may be used when managing reserve assets or regulated stable coins. It's going to formalize how specified trust beneficiary interest may be invested. Boy, they sure reuse the words, don't they? A structure used by stablecoin issuers under the law, while also introducing updated administrative supervisory guidance. Let me... Let me explain. I had to use Grok. I utilized Grok to try to understand this article. It says here, Japan is actively refining and expanding its legal framework under the Revised Payment Services Act to regulate who can issue stablecoins, particularly yen-pegged stablecoins, and how they must be structured. Specifically, stablecoins can only be issued by licensed entities such as banks. So in Japan, they're going to make it to where the only people that can create a stablecoin backed with the yen or whatever are going to be banks, registered fund transfer service providers, and trust companies. That's it. The framework prohibits unlicensed or foreign issuers from directly targeting Japanese users without oversight. And the ongoing blah, 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 I don't want to confuse you, to enable stability and low risk. Recent examples of the Japanese yen stablecoin launch of the first regulated yen stablecoin in October 2025, aiming to foster a controlled ecosystem. They want to have a controlled ecosystem. Nobody is just going to make a stablecoin in Japan. Only certain people, and the government's going to watch them super close. That's how it's going down in Japan. Something about February. They're probably going to start around March. And you know what? They're having an open consult. Okay, they're allowing for public comments in Japan until February 27th. Notice, March 30th is when Europe rolls out. Japan is ending their open comment about a month early. I'm going to tell you what, it's very possible that either Europe runs it first and then Japan right after. But it's just very interesting how these two dates are kind of like pretty close to the same. And I think that'll be it. Let me check the comments here. Quantum Herb says, nobody tells us this information on the many channels I listen to. This is always the best channel. If you buy exchange after 2 weeks. Okay. I think that's it. This show is over. I'm going to turn it over to the $5 group, and I'll see you on the next one.